You hear that? The sound of bold ideas.
Welcome to the UX Rotterdam Podcast. We are recording at ROCC. My name is Nauko Leong, co-founder of UX Rotterdam. And in this podcast, I will talk with designers, leaders, and other creative thinkers who are shaping how design, technology, and human experiences are evolving, especially in times of rapid change. And in this episode, we will talk about the topic, the digital industry of Rotterdam, about the opportunities and ambition of this city. Today, I'm joined by three guests. Welcome, guys. First of all, Martijn Peltenburg, project manager, digital economy of the Municipality of Rotterdam. And we also have two Rotterdam-based startup founders as our guests today. Jeroen Westerbeek, founder of Monday Merch, a global service merch partner, and Maarten Nachtegeller, founder of Sparrow Night, an award-winning game development studio. Jeroen, to start with you, can you give us a little bit an introduction about Monday Merch?
Yes, well, it's kind of like you said, we are a full-service merchandise supplier with a global focus. So we help international companies with all their merchandise and basically all the surrounding work and services that kind of come with those. So for these big international companies, it's a lot of work to design, storage, ship these products, and we help them with all of it.
Nice. And Maarten, by the way, congratulations with
Thank you.
winning the award for the best hidden gem at the New York Game Awards.
Yeah, was really cool.
How important is this for your studio?
It's mostly like within the game development group, very important, and it's less so for the sales, but it does bring a lot of connections overseas, right? So we this particular one is by the New York Critics Circle, so there's lots of journalists from all big American game journalist websites, magazines. So that's good to have those connections, especially for future, for new games and new ideas by us. Yeah.
I'm very proud that you are based in Rotterdam, of course, which is the city where you, Martijn, are working as a project manager, digital economy. Can you first tell us a little bit about your role?
About my role? Well, I work for the economics department of the city of Rotterdam. And within the economics department, we have a program that is dedicated to the digital economy of the city of Rotterdam because of the ongoing trend in more and more technologies, changing business models, etc. I think it was about 4 years ago that we decided to have like our focus on the digital economy. So we explore what the digital economy in Rotterdam is. We try to find business opportunities, and wherever we can, we help the rockstar companies that we have within our city.
And why is it so important for Rotterdam to come out with this playground for digital innovation and companies who are enabled to work in this industry?
There's two things. First of all, there's no way going around the digital economy. For the majority of the Rotterdam companies, also the SME companies, they all, in their own way, have to transform their business and think about which part of their business should become digital in order to survive. So it's a bare necessity. And the second one is that we see that in Rotterdam city, where people come up with great ideas, like also your event, UX Rotterdam.
Thank you.
People have a great idea and they just make it happen in Rotterdam. This is also our slogan in Rotterdam, make it happen. And this is also why this helps us as a city, because it attributes to the international profile of the city of Rotterdam as a forward and innovative thinking city, which then again attracts more businesses that would like to be part of the Rotterdam ecosystem. So it's two things. One, you have to do it, and the second one is it helps the international profile of the city, which is in turn good for everybody's business.
And what kind of tools, what kind of programs are you running to help companies such as Monday Merge or Sparrow Night to grow and to accelerate?
Well, you would think that the government would launch larger grants or programs with subsidies, etc. But we think that this doesn't necessarily work in the city of Rotterdam, because our entrepreneurs are really good at being an entrepreneur. And I think, but that is, well, our conclusion, that it's not always helpful when the government tries to interfere. So what we do is we take a low profile, and wherever we can, we make the right connections. And also, for instance, when it comes to AI, when we found out that there is a larger AI community developing in the city of Rotterdam, we try to give more attention and more energy to a community in order to make it grow and give entrepreneurs more space to be an entrepreneur.
And to compare to other cities, we don't have to mention the names, but in what way do you estimate yourself as a more city with more opportunities?
Well, first of all, we are very keen on working together with other cities, because the Netherlands is a small country, so it's not really helpful when you have like internal competition. On a global scale, you have to work together in the Netherlands, so we don't really compare us with other cities. One of the things is that when we started looking into the digital economy, one of the things that we found out is that the majority of Rotterdam businesses that are really good in the digital economy, for say 80 to 90% of their business, they are an exporting business. So for instance, the game studio, by default, they sell internationally. So for the export trade, it's really good. And the same goes for Monday Merge, when they have a lot of international clients. So our focus immediately shifted towards being an international city, which Rotterdam has always been as a port city. And the second one is, coming back to your question, is that one of the things that we really like is, and this is something that we also tried within the game development industry that we helped over the last couple of years, is that we measure success when the ecosystem starts telling other people that Rotterdam is a great place to do business. And this is something that we see within the game development industry and the game industry in the Netherlands, that people now spread the word that Rotterdam is the place to be.
Is that true, guys? Do you think Rotterdam has helped you a lot in the beginning to start your company?
We both lived here, the other owner Stefan, but we definitely see that Rotterdam has picked up some buttons that were left out by other cities. For example, Indigo, which is a big business event that happens here in the WTC. And that is a really big event for the game scene for Holland. And when we were there, we saw so many Rotterdam-based game studios. So there must be something good here, right? They all sprawl up. And definitely feel that Rotterdam puts in the effort with TwitchCon, with stuff like that. At least for our industry, is very important and helps us connect. And yeah.
And for you, Jeroen, what did Rotterdam actually give you to make Monday Merge as a company as you are now?
For us, it's very practical. So we need good people, and we also need physical space. We have our mega center around the city, which is 25,000 cubic meter. And even before this, we had a smaller place. And from the bigger cities in the Netherlands, I think Rotterdam has, from maybe back in the day, a lot of this space basically around the city center. So for a partially digital company, but also a company that has actual physical products that need to go places, Rotterdam is kind of perfect for it, especially in combination with getting the right people. I think there's a lot of, I'm myself from Groningen, and I think in Groningen it's kind of harder to find the people that we look for Monday Merge. So then, Rotterdam is just a good city to be in.
So we are, of course, an event where we talk a lot about UX, which is, I think, also an important topic for your business, as I may say. and especially for you, Jan Maarten. How important is UX for Sparrow Night?
Yeah, very. That's what we sell. We sell a product, a game that is all in all a user experience, right? So that's the main goal of the game, is to be entertaining and be interesting and playable for our audience. So the UX is the elements we think of straight away. And of course we think, at least I'm a game designer, think very game mechanically, but after that step is definitely how do you play with it, how do you interact with it. And like Martijn said, everything is digital with us. Yeah, it's very, in this digital age, it's all UX, and in this TikTok culture, it needs to pop right away, else you're gone. So yeah, it's the main focus, I would say.
That's good to hear. And talking about innovation, Jeroen, is AI also a big important component in your business strategy?
So you would not think that we are maybe a very digital company, but actually, in fact, we are. So how we kind of compete in this very traditional, old school, very big market is that we have this very digital approach. So if you compare us to competitors, what you see with merchandise is that when customers come to us, usually their merchandise is all scattered around the company. Who's responsible for what? So there is someone who's ordering maybe merchandise for an event, there's someone else ordering merchandise for employees, someone else for some other activity, and this is all kind of like living in email boxes. There's design files somewhere, the marketing team is working on something, and we streamline all of this for a company. So the company comes to us and we say, okay, from now on, there's not all these different email boxes and emails where all these things are living. You have one platform or merge platform where you see everything, where you see all your designs according to your brand guidelines, what you have in stock. And for that aspect, UX is very important. Without going too much into details, but to get for a multinational company with a lot of remote employees the right size t-shirts at their home address, to do that on a very big scale, you need to have really good tech and you need to have really good UX. So that's what we work on. And AI specifically, we use a lot in our design work and also in our development work. A lot of AI is used to just get features out there very fast.
And Martijn, if you hear all these inspirational stories from startups, but also scale-ups, and maybe some companies already went into big corporate ones. What does that do with you? What is your feeling about bringing these companies together? Does it make you proud?
Yes, of course. No, it makes me really proud, but also at the same time very humble, because the hard work, as I said, also sort of said in the introduction, the hard work is with the entrepreneurs. And what we do is we polish the storefront, and we make sure that all these lovely companies end up in getting more promotion, even when they're very modest themselves. So we make sure that we have a nice store with shining companies in it that we use worldwide to attract attention to Rotterdam. And especially, as Jeroen said, when it comes to attracting talent, it's not only about the businesses, but people like to live in Rotterdam, because whether it's architecture, the musea, when you go on about in the weekend, you meet a lot of like-minded people that are very, I would say, modest, creative at the same time, really authentic, the Rotterdam mentality of let's do it. And that attracts more talent to the city. So, and even because you didn't ask me whether we use UX in the city itself.
Well, you asked the question by yourself now, so.
Do you?
No, also the city of Rotterdam, because we have a UX team of 12 people. And the main focus for the city of Rotterdam is the accessibility of all the services that we provide. Because as a government organization, it is for us paramount that everybody that is in Rotterdam can use our services. Whether you have a disability or you need help reading, or when you want to have because we tend to use very complicated words to say really simple things. So this is our focus when it comes to UX, mainly on the accessibility.
What you can also see, when I walk in the center, I see a lot of nationalities, very international mindset. Is that also a direction the city of Rotterdam wants to go in, to bring more international people to Rotterdam?
Well, I think that the city does it itself, because people want to live in Rotterdam, and I think it's 2026 now, so nobody really, I was going to say something really frank, but I will rephrase my words. Nobody is really interested anymore which country you originally came from. Maybe from a cultural interest, or when you have like a conversation over coffee. But when it comes to doing business, everybody has the same goal. Everybody wants to succeed, want to work with other talent, get inspired. Because when you work around talent, you will be more happy.
And in your working culture, is there also an international mindset?
We almost have 0 Dutch people. We have some Dutch founders, and then most of the team at the office, at least in Rotterdam, are internationals. And we just find internationals very good, intelligent, hardworking people. They come here, which already is indicative of a certain type of character, right? They travel abroad to live, or study, work abroad. So it already, gives a certain mindset. And these are just people that find us, and we find them good. And we don't have a lot of international people actually, of Dutch people actually at the company.
Is that strange for your feeling?
Do you find it strange? I don't know. Like for me, it's fine. It's
the time of in where we live now, right? Everything is quite international.
I would say so. Like our customer base is international. If you only have Dutch customers and they speak Dutch, then yeah, you need Dutch people. Most of our business is outside of the Netherlands. Even inside of the Netherlands, a lot of our companies are kind of international companies where it's English-speaking people. So for us, it's not a mandatory requirement to be Dutch or speak Dutch. We just look at who are the best people, and for us, we find a lot of internationals.
And for you, Jan Martin, can imagine that it's very difficult to find the right talented people, especially in the gaming industry?
No, I think in Holland you have quite a healthy base of schools that provide students that have quite a good education to come into this field. But we do only have Dutch people at the moment. We're compared to Jeroen very small. But the thing here is that indeed Rotterdam feels very international, and we have another company in our office that has a lot of interns that come from Italy and Switzerland, stuff like that, and they all feel like a breath of fresh air, because even I'm not born in Rotterdam, I'm Dutch, but I feel like an outsider in coming in. But Rotterdam always feels like a home, because there are only a few people who were born here, right? It's all immigrated people, and that energy you feel in the food, in the culture.
One of the things is, a couple of years ago, there's a large, in Breda we have the BUAS, and they have top talent students in game development. And most of them always said we need to go either to Amsterdam, or they wanted to go abroad because they thought that should be their first step of their career. What we have seen over the last couple of years is that a lot of students all of a sudden, because we put the spotlight on the industry and on Rotterdam especially, is that students now discover that there's plenty of jobs to be found in the Netherlands as well. To your question about our international strategy, there's two things. We have our economics department, where we make sure that we focus on companies that do international business. And we also have an organization called Rotterdam Partners, which is also the city marketing organization, and they do all the trade missions for the city itself. So either trade missions coming in from abroad, or the trade missions that the city of Rotterdam participates in when we go elsewhere to other countries.
And can you tell a little bit about the results or the goals?
Well, funny thing is that we have this conversation all the time. I think one of the hardest things to measure is what the output is of all the outreach that you do as an economic department, or what Rotterdam Partners does. So yes, we are able to measure how many companies came in with foreign direct investment into Rotterdam. But it's really hard, because was it that one phone call, or was it that one meeting that we had, or was it Martijn in the studio coming to Indigo and meeting an international investor? So which part of the effort eventually led to the result? But personally, I would like to think about the work that we do in the economics department. It's people will realize what the result is when we stop doing it. And this is, you have to do it in order to also make sure that you remain competitive, and also companies can remain competitive. It's a bit like having a fire insurance for your house. You need to have it.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Also, like in a company, it's the same, right? Like sometimes I get asked the question, what's the thing that makes you guys grow so big? And it's a combination of so much stuff. Like you're gonna say, it's just this thing. No, it's like we do a lot of things together, and they all need to go well. And then, if all that works together, then you get results. And to pinpoint it to one specific thing, it's hard. So I think for a city and a company, that's kind of the same.
Yeah, and also it's because as a government organization, we are always really keen on. We are basically burning taxpayers' money. So that brings an extra responsibility to be extra careful and understand where every euro goes. So to share one small anecdote, I think it was last year after the Agency at Night festival, which we have where all the digital agencies open up the doors. I went afterwards, the week after, I went to a digital agency, and I asked them the question, because they worked for bigger brands, and I said, how does like a really big brand in the Netherlands, how do they allocate budgets, for instance, towards an event where they launch their new car or their new ice cream? And it really surprised me, because I thought they would have like a ton of metrics, and of course they have metrics about how well the business does. But with bigger brands, it's also, you need to be out there. You need to be out there in the market. You need to be visible, and it's also what Maarten said within the TikTok culture, and where attention is really scarce. And everybody is fighting for the last couple of seconds of attention that people have in their daily lives. You just need to be out there.
And you take care of being visible.
Yes.
Can you tell a little bit about the initiatives you are supporting at the moment?
At the moment, well, for the city of Rotterdam, last year we started with an initiative that we call Digital Economy Month, which is basically when we try to highlight a couple of larger events that we have. And for now, the larger things that are on the horizon are, well, of course, the UX Rotterdam event on the 16th and 17th of April, as I understand. We have Indigo, the International Game Development Conference for the Benelux coming. We have TwitchCon coming again. We have a really large esports event end of March, where the entire Counter-Strike community comes to play a tournament in Rotterdam. And there's plenty more, but these are some of the highlights.
That sounds really active, and that your work is paying off. It's really good to hear. But I was also curious, maybe for you a question, Jeroen, since you are growing and maybe looking already towards the future, is Rotterdam also on the long term the city where you will be based?
For us it is, yeah. I mean, like our timelines are kind of 3 to 5 years max, because sometimes we don't know what's going to happen next quarter. But there's enough size, there's enough people, good people. Our customers do not need to be here. We're not restricted in that in any way, so yeah.
And if you look at the collaboration with Martijn, are there any plans towards your company strategy, or is there more help to come?
More help to come, I don't know, but Martijn is always very good in introducing us and hyping us up. And the city is just also helpful in when we have questions for the business or needs. And they bring a lot of big international events, like something like Indigo. I think it's insane that comes to Rotterdam. That's and also interesting for us because we can also talk with businesses there and we meet people there.
And what about Sparrow Night? What are your plans for the short and long term?
Yeah, you're always as good as your last product. So this one sold well, and hopefully the next one also does. And that will also be the main focus. So if we can expand with the money that we gain from this project, then we will a little. But in games currently, it's quite an upheaval. It's pretty with AI coming, stuff like that. All the bigger AAA companies have it quite difficult. And the tools become easier for small groups to make quite big things. And that's also a reason why Holland and Rotterdam specific, smaller teams can make big games and sell well and do well as a company. And I said it before, Martijn is very well in connecting everyone, introducing us. Indigo is very nice to have in Rotterdam. Of course it could be in Utrecht, but Rotterdam just a good fit, I think. And what I think about Rotterdam is that it feels international or most international from all the places in Holland, and that spirit that I think won't leave anytime soon. So we won't leave too. Besides that, I got my family and kids here, so I don't want to go.
If you would give one piece of advice to a future founder, why would you start in Rotterdam?
I think in general, the gaming business is very welcoming and very, you don't feel the competitive side of it. And I think especially in Rotterdam, other gaming companies are very willing to help, to talk, to help you settle. We also felt that. So I want to continue that and give the baton to the next company. And I think Rotterdam has enough place to settle and be a great gaming business. Yeah.
I think you have to look at if you're about to start your business, what makes most sense. And I would say wherever you go, and I think Rotterdam is a good place. Look outside of the city if you're trying to grow a big company. Definitely look outside of the city, but also look outside of the country. The Netherlands is small. It's a great place to live, but it's a small market. So just from day one, look outside of the borders and grow your company internationally.
Thank you for being here today. I think it was a very open and interesting conversation. More episodes of the UX Rotterdam podcast are following soon. If you want to know more about UX Rotterdam, go to our website, uxrotterdam.com. My name is Nauko Leong, co-founder of UX Rotterdam. Stay curious. See you next time.